Welcome to Garnet Insider, Ride TV's one and only sports show featuring your favorite high school sports team. That's right, the Garnets. I'm Andrew Dappelite.
And I am Travis LaBelle. If you want to view past episodes or promos, just log on to www.youtube.com/GarnetInsider.
In today's show, we will show highlights of the outstanding accomplishments and achievements of our athletes this past fall.
With the exception of football, field hockey, and select individuals in swimming and cross country, fall play has ended. For many teams, preseason goals and expectations were met, and in many cases, exceeded.
Here's a look at the boys soccer team on their truly remarkable run this past season. Here's the stats.
The first 2 games of the season gave no indicator of the success the boys varsity soccer team would achieve this season. After winning on opening day 3-1 against Blindbrook, Rye went 3-0, only to be held scoreless in his next 2 games by a score of 11-0. This was a turning point of the Garnet season, as from a 4-0 loss against Magnus, they found consistency and rhythm to their play. Rye began to function as a unit from that game on, with seniors Stephen Evans leading the team in goals. Marky Zunian, who did not go into the season as the established starter, also started playing to his potential, with many impressive saves. Rye won its next 2 games, then later in the year went on a tear of going undefeated through 7 games. Between October 12th and their first playoff game on the 31st, their opponents had no answer to Rye's play. After the regular season ended, coach Jared Small utilized scouting reports of his opposition to prepare for their sectional game against Valhalla. Rye soundly defeated the Valhalla Vikings 4-0 in an epic display of how far they've come this season. It was quite a feat considering the success of Rye soccer in the past. It was the furthest into their playoffs they've come in 25 years. In their next playoff game on November 2nd against Albertus Magnus, a team they lost to 4-0 earlier in the season, Rye knew they would have to step it up big time to beat a team notorious for being tough. It was much closer than the 4-0 defeat Rye posted last game, but Rye still went down 1-0. Without question, it was a great year for the Garnet soccer program. The future looks bright for Rye.
The girls' soccer team's transition into the fall season may not have been as smooth as they hoped, but they certainly showed some promise. Here's the recap. Get informed.
Playing in the fall for the first time this season, there was a lot of question as to how the girls' varsity soccer team would perform against elevated competition. In the first 2 games, Rye answered all their critics, posting a 5-0 victory against Blindbrook in the game, in which sophomore Alex Rimmer scored 4 goals. Led by senior captain Caitlin McGowan, the soccer team also won the next 2 games. However, as the season continued on, Rye faced many more obstacles than they initially expected. McGowan was injured as Rye's schedule began to peak. From October 11th to the 21st, they lost 3 out of 4 games. However, by no means did they experience a fallout. They handily defeated Ardsley away, leading up to the final game of the regular season against Eastchester. This October 25th match would decide if Rye would win the league title, something they also won this spring. At the nursery field, however, they fell 1-0, but they did move into sectional play. At home against Valhalla on the 30th, Rye was ahead at halftime on their own turf, but the Vikings ended up prevailing 3-2. While Rye finished 9-8, it is important to note all the obstacles they faced this season, one being the never easy transition to moving a sport to a different season. Most of the Garnet stars this season were underclassmen, and as coach Rich Savage continues to work with the younger levels in the program, expect to see a youthful mix of veterans next year, in the fall. For the cross-country season, Garnet Insider has put together a segment documenting their season. While both varsity teams' seasons are over, senior Annie O'Callahan is moving out to compete in the state in Warwick, New York. Here's a story and a sum-up of their season. Get up to speed. The 2006 cross-country season has finally come to a close after nearly 3 months of rigorous training. From August through October, the team can be found pounding the pavement along the streets of Rye to prepare for an aggressive meet schedule. Under the tutelage of longtime Rye cross-country coach Craig Sandhouse and supporting coaches Martin Landukowski and Ron Gazinski, the team maximizes their performance through their daily workouts, weekly dual meets, and Saturday invitationals. On the girls' team, while hopes of qualifying a full team for states diminished in the final days of 4 sectionals, senior Annie O'Callahan qualified for the championship meet that was held in Warwick, New York. Senior Tara Doyle finished as the 6th individual, making her an alternate for the states. At states, Annie O'Callahan fell ill and was unable to finish the race. Nonetheless, she finished the season with many victories. Some of the additional accomplishments on the girls' team include maintaining an undefeated dual meet record, winning the league meet and placing well in the Manhattan Invitational, Class B meet, Coaches and Officials Invitational, and the County meet. For the boys, the varsity squad closed out the season with their fair share of accomplishments. Faced with an exceedingly difficult competition in both the league, class, and section, the team struggled to hold their ground at some important meets. Nonetheless, they placed second in the league behind Edgemont, with 4 individual all-league titles. At sectionals, senior Andrew Daplett missed the cut to qualify for states, but managed to improve his time by nearly 30 seconds from earlier in the season. Freshman Max Robinson also displayed an impressive performance, finishing well towards the front behind Daplett. Newly appointed team captains, sophomore Joan Graham for the girls and junior Jack Simonson for the boys, will lead the team to next season with high hopes of further achievement. With the experiences of 2006 under their belt, titles and championships are potentially limitless.